Okay, my dear students, now in this video we will discuss regarding again the collection of data, but it is the third part. We have already discussed the primary data, secondary data. Now how we can collect the data through the census and sample method. Is it clear? Now come to the second. So previously it was related to census method. Now come to the sampling method. So in the definition I had told you that when all the population will not be taken for investigations, only some item will be taken, that is known as sampling method. So in this video we will learn how many kinds of sampling. So basically there are two types of sampling. One is known as random sampling and other is known as non-random sampling. So what is random sampling? So here the word is random, means we do not take continuously. We can take any item from the given groups, and that is known as random. So in the form of definition we can say it is a method in which every item in the universe has a known chance of being chosen for the sample. It is also known as probability sampling. So no one can say that I may not be selected. Everybody has given the chance, but the problem is that all will not be selected. It will be taken as a sample. Here just I want to give you some examples. Sampling method is basically used where the population is very high. Suppose I have to check the purity of Ganga river, the water of Ganga river. So is it possible to check? Never it is possible. So we take the sample from the origin up to the mouth where the Ganga meets. So from the different places we take the water, we examine it, and on that basis we can say where the Ganga is highly polluted, where the Ganga is 100% pure, and where the purity is less, and so on. So it helps to understand if the content, if the population is very vast. Is it clear? So random here the sampling, I told you that there are two kinds of random and non-random, but the random sampling is divided again into two parts. First, simple random sampling, and second, restricted random sampling. So what is simple random sampling? So it is a method in which every item of the population has an equal chance of being selected. For example, lottery method. So a number of cheat has been kept in a particular drum and it is mixed properly, but no one knows that which number will be selected. So in that case, from the whole cheats we take only 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on, but not all, and such kind of sampling will be considered as a simple random sampling. Now come to the restricted random sampling. So in this method, basically we use the different items of populations which are not which are homogeneous. Okay, if the item is not the homogeneous, we are unable to take the samples. Okay, now come to the non-random sampling. So in this method, which sample depends on the judgment, okay, of the investigator rather than on chance. So it is not scientific. This method is divided into three parts. First, judgment sampling. Under this method, item depends exclusively on the judgment of the investigator. In a simple word, we can say here the investigators likes the item, only select that items, and that is known as judgment sampling. Second is the quota sampling. Under this method, the items of the populations are subdivided into various groups and then a quota is fixed. For example, in a survey of TV interviews, here suppose TV want to take some interview related to a particular goals, such as at present that is the Ram Janmabhoomi Babri Masjid. So first of all, he wants to take the ideas from the 500 peoples, but all the 500 peoples will come from a particular group. It is not possible. They make the quotas. Suppose 50% people will come from the rural areas, 53% people will come from the urban areas, some peoples will be taken from the sub rural areas, some people may be the boys, some people may be the girl, some percentage of the maybe it may be related to the students. So in this way, the 500 peoples are categorized in different percentage, and this situation is known as quota sampling. Now next come to the convenience sampling. So what is this? Under this method, while selecting the sample with the investigator gives a special attention to his convenience. For example, estimate average height of Indian people. So all the people has been taken from the Delhi, because Delhi is the capital, and here from the different corners of the country people used to live. So it would be very easy to determine the what is the average height of the Indian people in our country. Okay, now come to the merits and demerits of random sampling. So first merit, no personal bias, because the investigators itself or himself take the ideas from the respondent, so there is less chance of personal bias. Second, based on probability, here all the item has given the chance, but all the items will not be taken, only some peoples will be taken for investigations, so it is based on probability. Accuracy can be assessed. Here we can't get the 100% accuracy, but at some extent the accuracy may be better. Next is the suitable for increasingly representative of the population. If the population is very high, or if it is continuously increasing, in that situations the random sampling is most suitable. So what are the demerits of it? First, unsuitable for a small population. So if the population is small, in that case we can't use the random sampling, because here accuracy can't be obtained in a proper way, so this is not suitable. Next is the difficult to prepare sampling frame. So before the taking the sample, we have to keep some objectives that must be related to the investigation. So if our objective is not clear, in that case it is very difficult to prepare sampling frame. Now time consuming. So here the population is very vast, as a result to complete the sampling it takes more time, and that's why it is told it is time consuming, it is expensive, more workforce sometimes it requires, etc. Error of judgment. So here the sample is taken, so 100% accuracy is not possible, so judgment may be false, and that's why it is told error of judgment. So in this way we find that random sampling is also important, but not up to the mark to achieve the better result. All the statistical method can't be utilized to determine the actual value, or in case of interpretation of the data. Okay, so I hope it would be easy to understand the chapter, and I also hope that you are able to understand it. Okay, thank you my dear students.